Pee Wee Herman.
Reasonable.
Are you Pee Wee Herman all of a sudden?
It's such a long, boring story. Basically, when we were doing the Sydney show match thing, do you know that UFC fighter was involved?
Yep.
I was getting a lot of death threats and messages from all his fans saying who thought it was a real thing. And one of them called me Pee Wee looking Herman mother.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And,
I like it.
It really stuck and resonated with Trace, so he keeps calling me that over and over again. So yeah, death threats are now jokes for him. I'm joking, it's fine. That was a rough week. The people really didn't understand the show match, and it was like a fun thing. They thought it was real.
Yeah, I didn't. I did see that he was involved on Twitter, but I didn't follow the threads.
Yeah, so yeah, that wasn't a good idea to step into that arena. But either way, the arena we're going to step into is NiP versus North on Nuke, and it's going to be CT side for NiP. Historically, a very good map for them. It's a very different iteration of Nuke, though. It is very CT side this day. That's where they're going to begin. Surely they're going to be the victors here, Matt. That's what everyone's. I would say everyone would be assuming that. Obviously, North look a little bit better right now, I'd say, from their previous results in the last few days. But
I was impressed yesterday. I will be 100% honest. I don't really have a favorite team, but sometimes I get impressed by teams and get disappointed. As of the last 4 or 5 months, I would say North has been the most disappointing on my list. So yesterday was positive.
Sure.
That might continue.
We'll see. It's going to be a fast ramp play here. Rez to defend. He'll get... not really much done there at all, and Dennis, the Pistol Master, has been taken down. Very fast and assertive stuff so far. It's up to Rez to find a few kills here. He'll get absolutely nothing for it. It's going to be a clean sweep because the MSL's already made his way in towards the vents. Draken, or Draco, he's calling himself today, will... yes, exactly. We'll have a very tough time of doing much of this one. He is going to be the focus. He had a pretty rough game the other day, or series, I should say, when... he was on train. We'll see whether he can step up today. It's a challenging map to be an AWPer on, Nuke, I'd say, in general. Obviously, he'll be smoked out all the time on both sides of the map. So we'll see whether he can deliver some good results. But North, for now, very fast, lower split, one player towards events. Perfectly done. North take a nice lead here, and it will be NiP to force by in the second round. We'll see if this can be beneficial for them. They're going to have the CZs, the Deagles, and any utility at all. No, Draken just going to get the... Deagle, no armor, could be same with That's something we discussed in depth about him. He kept force buying over and over again. It seems like he's maybe listened or watched his own demos. I'm not sure, but it seems like we're in the right direction today.
MSL off to a good start as well in that pistol round, which is encouraging for him. We know he comes under fire a lot of the times, not so much for his leadership, although has been questioned, but more so for his lack of contribution to the scoreboard. So it's encouraging, it's confidence-inducing. Ketright's going to take AZ down, though, to start things off for NiP. He does so with the CZ75, and the Pistols have a two-man advantage as Forrest finds MSL outside. KRB gets a response, but they still have to establish map control. They're outside to the red crate, but they aren't much beyond. Distance is their friend in this occasion. They've thrown guns away through the fence as well, but they still need to worry about getting to Secret unsighted because the Pistols... in Nuke, can close the distance on rotation from A to B quite quickly.
It's true. And for now, this man advantage is looking very promising for the Ninjas. They have Valda here trying to work the next pick, and Draken could be in trouble. He does get a dink off. It doesn't do as much damage. I was through the corner of the air conditioning, I think, and now he'll fall back safely. Time ticking away. He just needs to find one kill. And Rez actually beats him to the punch. That was towards ramp, I believe, and now it's a 4 versus 2.
Alda swinging outside, so they never wanted to go down to the door. In fact, they just set to try and find the kills. Draco's got one. And it's KRB left on 10. NiP might pull this off. Again, the distance is their friend outside. They could have easily won the exchanges from long. NiP never gave them that chance. And you could see it. Draken playing in behind the air conditioning vent, as you saw. Hit the dink through the edge, unfortunately for him, but got away as quickly as he could. Had the information. And now KRB has to commit to the plants, just barely 5 seconds, and I think he's going to get the plant. So money, at least for North, and that was the goal at that point. 10 HP, 2 versus 1, no time. Best he could have come up with.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah, I think he realized that as well. Let's just try and sneak a plant in here. That's why he didn't go for the close plant spot. He's just like, where could I find some cover behind the silo? And he's not going to defuse straight away, allow his teammate to salvage a weapon. He's only found the UMP, that's Rez. But they managed to do it. 2 kills for Draken as he closes the round out with the defuse. It's going to be NiP bouncing right back here on Nuke. That is good news, avoiding that 3-0 deficit. It's kind of a big deal for the T side to get that. So there we go. 2 players do survive, and I'm assuming we're going to have a force buy in response from the North boys. It'll be a mixture of SMGs and pistols, I would imagine at this point. Yes, indeed. There will be a couple of UMPs, Deagle, and 2 CZs. Actually got quite a lot of utility. Probably could have got a bit more firepower, but opting for the strategic approach here. Maybe smokes outside, get 4 players down towards lower, let those CZs and UMPs do the best amount of work they can, or they go for maybe an upper rush, something like that. We'll see. I would imagine it'll be like a Wolfpack sort of strat here. There's the smokes, and will there be 4 people? Indeed there is. So 4 players head towards Secret. This makes the most sense to me. Forest, though, aware of the prospect and does fall back, but AZ gets the first shot. That's Get Right being dropped. 5 versus 4. Remember, 4 players down towards lower, but they have been held off by the smoke for now.
Forget about the
no.
massive difference in the vents now. Forest does follow up. 2 on the crossfire. MSL gets him on the drive-by, so it pulls it back to the 3 versus 3 still. And they've got guns on everyone now on the north side. UMPs, mind you, against 2 AKs and an AWP. MSL does carry the M4, but they're still absolutely effective. First time you and I have seen Nuke this event. We've yet to see Dust 2.
We had it as a 3rd map in one of our games. We didn't get to cast it. Never got that.
That's
so
right.
that was the closest we've got. I've cast it maybe 3 times now at other events. It is a lot of fun. It's very frantic. It's a lot more deathmatch style, which is refreshing, I would say. Either way, 3-on-3, 40 seconds remaining, and the bomb's still to be planted. NiP seem like they have the upper hand here. Rez struggles with the kill, but Dennis will find the second, and that's going to be a nice recovery from NiP, looking a little bit dangerous at that point. I think the key point was in Forest. Somehow got the 180 kill on AZ.
One of the things I always ask is when we see a map change, you as a former player, a high-level player in your own right, well, not in your own right, outright, is the map changes. Obviously, this one's been in for a bit of time, but I haven't seen it in the last 2 months. The vent change is pretty significant. No longer goes directly into the site, which takes away rotation, but it adds some safety. What's your opinion on it?
I think it seems like now the lower bomb side, once the bomb's down there, people are talking about this map being very CT-sided. It is, I agree with that, but the Ts can work out strategy how to get that bomb down lower. It's almost impossible to retake it. It makes the rotation game very interesting. I think the tactics are going to develop more and more. We've seen some really interesting lower fakes and all that sort of thing coming in. I don't mind this version of Nuke. We're going to talk over this full eco here. You can see Rez and Draken going to town. I still feel like it's not perfect. There's always going to be that case, but I don't mind a CT-sided map, you know. I feel it makes it interesting, and it adds more drama when you lose a pistol like an NiP did. You have to recover, and you're looking to post, 12 rounds, and I think that can make a game of CS really exciting in terms of how these execution-based teams can show us some really innovative stuff, and that's what I'm hoping North can do here today.
The vents have been the most commonly changed thing over the history of Nuke, not just in CSGO. But it's interesting now because it goes out to the hallway, it makes the vent drop. I don't know. There's pros and cons. It's a cagey spot. Get right down immediately to what was formerly called Pallet. We'll stick with that. Easy enough. Nade goes through on Hunt. He actually peeks behind it. Damage to AZ. Smoke in place immediately after, and AZ forced off by that nade. There was no confrontation further, but there certainly is a favor for North in the fact that they've taken down both Draken and Dennis. Forest will still sit on the site. He's going to boost Get Right back up to the rafters as well. And then finally North commits to going ramp. Flash outs. Not even a contest. And no one's rotated lower either, so here you go. This is your point. I mean, at this point, to be fair, you're already 2 men down, so the retake's always going to be hard. But it's going to be, as you say, next to impossible.
It's not even worth, because now the utility you see down towards lower. If you can save a few smokes down towards lower, you think about it, you can actually either smoke off towards the left and right-hand doors, and there's no toxic room anymore, remember? So that doesn't exist.
True, that's right.
So CT, you don't even have to worry about that. Any CT being, they have to check the dark spot, smoke the left and right-hand side of the doors. And
we're a toxic-free community now.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. It's so weird to think that doesn't exist. That used to be a real common spot for CTs to sit there, then a plan to sit right at the back, or a T for a clutch. It was a really kind of lame spot, I thought, because you could shoot the hole in the door and make clutches quite boring, if I'm honest. It didn't take much skill. Just shoot a hole in, hide, and then peek. You're probably going to win the duel. I think it's challenging for both sides now. The nice addition of the lower boxes, the extra ones down there, that does give a viable CT hiding place, but that's Molotov very easily. So I think lower is the most interesting part of this map now. North, great job. And like I said, once that bomb gets down towards lower, CTs can't even really consider retaking that unless they have the man advantage or presence down there already. It'll be 3-2. Great opening picks from North. And for now, NiP with the saved AWP. We'll see whether Draken, like we said, can really step up here. It's a difficult map to operate with the sniper.
So, round has begun. Where does... I guess both ops. There's options, as you say, on either side. Go op for NiP. Draken will take it onto the ramp to start things off. Doesn't find the pick to radio, and he'll rotate outside instead. T-sided op, obviously. Look through from lobby. Look at Kjaerbye. They're already in. Rez took some damage in the air, ends up suiciding as a result. That'll be an assist award to Kjaerbye. And the bomb planted. Rickens had to get away down the vents, but slow to react, and AZ caught him off. I think he was probably hoping that he wasn't even going to be chased.
You can see North are going to be well versed in this map. They've got a nice fast execution there. Smoke that goes towards main entrance, towards the heaven area. The flashbangs go in, and NiP had nothing to do with that one. They run in towards the upside, and we North finding the first 2 kills and just run away with the round. That's 2 in a row now for the Danish squad. They're looking very good on nuke, I have to say. It's going to be the 4 spy from NiP. 1 AWP available for Forest, not Draken. And 2 and 4s, a couple of pistols here, as North continue that fast pace. Straight towards outside they go. I think they're anticipating no AWP, but Forest is there. Currently playing for the silo. Going to be falling back and looking for players crossing over. We'll see whether that works out for him. He's going to be flashed to oblivion though. So North looking to split towards that upper side once again, I would say. Spotted Forest, and he's only got the AWP. Remember, fire and flames all around him as he'll be dropped by MSL. 5 versus 4 now. That's the most significant weapon they had. It does no damage whatsoever.
Volda's gone... Volda? We've got Voldemort and Draco in this.
We do.
But he's gone all the way around outside and gone toward the heavens. Draken still downstairs. Dennis on the floor. Rez gets MSL with one of the 2 M4s. 22 HP left. He'll retreat, as he should do on ramp. And they'll pursue.
Looking for that 1 and done here. That's pretty much what we can hope for. There's the 1. Even gets a double, so he's more than he was worth there, Matt. They didn't anticipate him sitting in that position. That could win them the round. 22 HP to get kills like that was actually pretty spectacular, really. And now, 35 seconds, we'll see the bomb quite far removed from the situation. It's coming back towards the ramp.
And Getright's in perfect position because he's got the other M4. They haven't done a lot of damage. Oh, he just barely got that shot off. He didn't expect someone to be coming back. He considered it, but if he'd known, he would have waited and made it absolute. He still gets away with it. They follow up. Mertz has to get the AWP and go aggressive. 18 seconds. At this point, he's just desperate to get to the bomb, and Getright positions himself perfectly. That was very well done to take away the map as he could.
Great stuff. That was the 4 spy from NiP, remember. Put it all on the line for the 1 AWP, a couple of M4s. The AWP does nothing, but the M4s do absolutely everything. Rez, after finding the first kill in towards that ramp room, somehow gets a further 2. This was the play that won the round. Timing slightly off. Kjaerbye needed to be there with them sooner. He needed to be going out at the same time. Remember, there's no vent there to deal with anymore, so he could just jump out and help them out. But Rez took advantage of the situation. There'll still be a buy available for both teams, but lots of reset potential, especially for NiP here, who are all hovering around the $0 cash line. Draken this time towards heaven, not outside, trying to maybe counteract the fact they're focusing so much on that upper bomb site and those fast executions.
So Volda to the radio. He's going to hold this time. Rez on the ramp. Draken heading that direction as well, actually. Well, considered it. I say it and it changes. Was outside. He'll go back to heaven instead, so we won't cover from Speedway. And Rez is going to hug the wall. Flash won't catch him off all too easy there. 4 to find a second as well, but I was going to say Volda specifically. He found Kjaerbye immediately after as he went for the wide peak, and they tried to recover. It gives a man advantage. In fact, doubly so now to NiP, considering Forrest found a kill as well. They do get into the ramp room and still have the bomb. Not a lot to work with. Mertz flashed off, tries to catch a player peeking based on the timing. But NiP doesn't have to peek. They can just lock the ramp, if you will. Hold both sides of it as well as lower, and they've done that. 2 above, 2 below. There's really not a lot for North to work with. Forrest finds yet another from control room, and as Mertz goes hunting for that kill, Dennis was down below as well. 5 rounds now for NiP. So, yes, North, they looked organized like they had a plan. It seems like NiP has realized radio and ramp has a lot to do with that plan.
And Rez is stepping up tremendously, doing a great job there. Normally in ramp, it's better off not to challenge at all, just fall down, get the intel. If you can get one and then die, it's not really worth it because it actually helps out the T's. If anything, he's consistently getting 2-3 kills each time they go towards ramp. So I'm more than happy for him to keep fighting there. He's got the confidence. He's taking nice calculated risk when he does peak, so that's cool. We'll see whether he can keep that going. As we get to round number 9 here, money not amazing for the T-side team. Mertz, the young AWPer, down to just the Deagle. They've got 4 AKs, so not as much execution potential, just with 2 smokes available. Looks like they're going for a vent dive here, potentially. Going to try and flash their way out, but the smoke will send them packing. They know they have to wait a little bit longer if they want to do that again. So they'll hold up and wait for any sort of aggression from the CTs to come through. Kiabi completely adjusts towards the silo outside, and here's Forest holding up. Decent position to be in. They have got Molotovs, but I doubt they've thrown towards that spot. He can avoid most flashbangs there as well. Oh, Rez, you're down for. It will be MSL to be dropped. Great position by him. And we're going to see now a 5 versus 4. So MSL did make it down safely, but couldn't find Rez in the lower bomb side. Another advantage here for NiP.
And that's Rez again reacting well.
Yes.
So this time playing down below rather than in the ramp room. And he's going to stay immediately under that ladder as well, hoping that he'll just stab them as they fall down, and he does exactly that. In fact, I take it back. He's climbed up. He's gone aggressive. Rez is looking excellent this game.
Yeah, he really is. There's 4 more kills for him. He's been an astronomical amount. After 9 rounds, he's on 12 kills. He's doing a very, very good job there. 3 important ones there as well, considering they were on the force buy. That was the AKs and Deagle combo. This was the kill that really set them up, though. He's patrolling towards lower. He's aware of the risks. He comes back towards up at the perfect timing, waiting by the T-vent and sprays 3 of them down. They should be on an eco at this point. It's round number 10, 6-3 in favor of NiP on Nuke in the first map of our best of 3 here. This is a 2-1 game, so win this series and you go into the playoffs. So that's quite a massive deal here. You're not out if you lose the series, but it's a lot of pressure relieved for either of these teams.
Absolutely. And a day off as well.
A day off, exactly, yes. And they've got great boot camp facilities at this event, so can watch all the games, start preparing for their opponents and stuff.
They strip out. Starladder essentially goes above and beyond in the hotel and rents out extra rooms, strip out those rooms and set up an entire 5-set PC setup.
It's a nice little vibe. We got to use Fnatic last season once they
That's
moved
right.
out. It was actually really cool to be in there in the evenings to hang out.
Played PUBG for like 14 hours a day.
Yeah, it was really cool. Well, there it is. It will be North dropping this round, another eco going against them. They would have been so promising with the executions of fast plays they were presenting. Problem is, NiP winning the force buys they did.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. You do hate to see that.
I wonder if he meant to. He did just walk off straight up.
Sure. I don't know if you want to lose a frag willingly when you're already 2-7.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't think that was. That's a cool little.
I kind of just caught
board.
a glimpse of it when I was looking back at it, so I didn't really see if it looked intentional. Either way, he may have just walked off. Doesn't really matter. I mean, it does, but the overall context is that they're struggling, and MSL's called a timeout for it. So we just finished talking about the fact that North, this was their map, and that we expected them to run away with it. NiP is certainly putting up a challenge now. It is CT side. You always have to win or lose on T side in Nuke, truthfully. Even 3 rounds is enough, considering how one-sided it is, just to know that. It's by no means over, even if it goes 12-3. But there's the scoreboards for you. Mertz does lose a frag for cratering, but if anything, he doesn't give them cash. I guess he doesn't lose any himself. So maybe he did, who knows. Either way, round 11 coming in. No AWP for Mertz. He'll be on the AK. There'll be 5 of those, and they've got a decent amount of money this time. The smoke's coming out. It's normally MSL that tries to get towards the secret area by himself, if not with a few other players as well. Kind of mixes things up. It's the variation we discuss. Dennis, great job, will be traded out by the in-game leader. I'll just be waiting now for the utility reaction to come through. There is an AWP for Draken, but he's going in the vents, watching down towards lower. So he's gone for the other approach. He'll let them have outside, which a lot of teams are actually experimenting with these days. Like, they're actually saying, well, outside's not really a bomb site. If we just patrol towards lower and have everything else covered, they can really have outside as long as we keep our eye on it. And make sure they don't get towards heaven, for example. You can lure them in, too. A potential setup for crossfire at lower, under. In secret. And the secret society does approach. Draken's AWP in the vents. Tight angle. Hit. Withdraw. Repeat. So far, MSL's going the other way. Not sure if you noticed, Henry. There are 4 players in the server for North.
That's not ideal.
Forrest will get a kill now.
And somebody already died, right?
Someone did already die because Dennis has a kill as well as going down. So Forrest, Dennis now Draken with kills, and they have returned. So there's no need for a timeout. I was just more saying that in case we did have an issue, but it might have been planned that after he died, he fixed something so as to not cause a technical delay. If so, I commend you. Either way, get right on the floor. We'll take down Volda. And it's a 3 versus 1 for Mertz to try and pull back for North with the bomb on the deck. He'll jump down. Not to crater this time, but get right to receive him on the bottom, if you will. That sounded far more innuendo than it was intended.
Receive him on the bottom. I know what you meant. And it will be round number 12. And it's 8-3 in favor of NiP. They're actually posting another really solid CT half here. And it will be down to just the pistols once more for North. So that was the experiment towards outside. A bit more firepower from North out there. A very default round, if you call that on nuke. It's difficult to really quantify what a default is on nukes. Normally just the outside smokes, try and get down towards secret, or split towards the upper, or maybe even heaven. There's no real flight path. This is what our team will do every single round, apart from the outside smokes. As they do those again, 2 players do make it down towards lower. That's going to be, oh, actually, I take it back. It's actually 4 players after 80 going down. And they'll get a kill. Forrest to rotate down, but there's a chance of a plant here. MSL being tagged up as Valda looks to see whether the site is clear. CTs do have an incendiary. They can try and deny the plant with that. That's why they're not challenging too much right now. Smokes down. Kiabi does have the AWP, but doesn't land the shot towards ramp. We'll just go for the plant instead. Like I said, though, those flames and grenades are going to touch him. That's exactly what NiP were banking on. So he actually can't get that bomb down at all. He has to wait. Gives the AWP over. And indeed the bomb to MSL, who has more HP. So they've baited out that utility now, but Forrest still has the incendiary, but not for long. Valda takes him down.
So get right up above. He's going to pursue the backside of Secret and rotate in potentially from the stairs. I say that, and he's gone back to make sure they don't go back up the vents. He wants to hold off that site, knowing that Rez is already comfortably down below, and Dennis on the ramp can support him. They will realize that lower is the intention. Good shot to Volda. Bomb was not in his hand, so it's not overcommitted and stuck inside of the site. Kiarbi, though, suddenly finds himself alone. Dennis, a brilliant arrival. And Rez easily cleans up the 11 HP on Kiarbi. He would have done so with or without that 11 HP because it was a headshot from an AK.
Yeah, Rez playing a perfect game with CS right now. This CT performance on ramp and the rotations coming through, it's really impressive to see. He's on 15 kills right now after 12 rounds, and he's pretty much carrying them through these uncomfortable situations where North do manage to sneak down towards lower, or they push towards ramp. He really is finding all the kills that really matter. Even just against pistols there, you might think, oh, they're eco. They're a partial buy, and they already found the first kill and taking down Forrest as well. He was down there pretty much by himself, and he found absolutely everything that they needed. So well played to him. We'll see whether he can keep it up. There is another buy here for North, and what was looking to be a really promising half. I honestly thought they were going to run away with it. Once they got those 2 rounds in a row towards the start, you can see that 16 kills, 3 deaths. Some assists in there as well. Kill to death ratio of 5.33. Not too bad, is it? And we'll see if we can keep that up. He'll be holding on to that AK as best he can. Whenever I used to play ramp, getting the AK was the best thing you could possibly do. It means you can hold those angles on the railings and go for the 1 taps and not have to commit to a spray. You can go for those taps, then fall back. It's such a comfortable feeling being able to get that ramp room with the enemy's rifle there. So we'll get into the effort execution by the looks of things from North. Things getting a bit desperate. And Forrest in the perfect position to shut that down. The bombs drop down the vent, I believe. This is getting all sorts of chaos, but MSL will grab it and head down towards the side, but he's down to 36 HP. Presumably, if I go towards ramp now, we'll see a rotation coming from Reds. So yes, indeed, he's down. Oh, there it is. There's the incendiary thrown. That's going to guarantee him a kill. Really well done from Reds. Again, just getting the kills that matter here. It's up to Mert to try and make this a thing, but it's not going to happen. And if Reds is aware of this, Matt, this guy's on another level right now.
Yeah, his awareness is so good. He's 1 step ahead every play.
So that's all he has to do then. He has to, basically, if they get down towards the vents and potentially plant towards low, it's the ramp player's responsibility to get down there and deny it the best they can. In other iterations of nuke, you couldn't plant behind the silo, so it's easy to defend that. But now you can plant behind, so he has to throw the incendiary, which he does, completely rails MSL, and then has the anticipation to think, well, maybe Valda's coming from the ramp room, trying to backstab and win this one out in the clutch, and he does it and rails that shot as well. Really, really well done. 17 kills. This is the most impressive performance from Rez I've seen since the Oakland performance, which was actually pretty much instrumental in them winning that one-off tournament, an anomaly result for NiP.
Yeah, that's a great bit of information to bring up now, because he played out of his mind at that event, and this is
we haven't seen
reminiscent.
that since. So
First time we've seen a wall of smoke outside. That used to be very common. They'll try and get towards Secret, undetected as a result of it. Kiarby up on top of the annex, or main entrance. Has dropped down from Silo to find a kill on Draken. That makes it all the more easy. All the easier to get towards Secret. Forrest with smoke in front of him. That Squeaky is going to try and move back up. He's got a reverse angle he's hoping to play, and he's likely, I imagine, going to pinch himself. Okay, he goes a little bit down. I thought he'd pinch himself at the vent and wait for any further information, but he wants to rotate down early this time. And it is the advantage to North. Finally something they could try and exploit and take advantage of.
yeah, it's going to be Valda who's got the bomb. He currently waits in the lobby. They've got less than a minute now. I assume MSL will be down towards Secret. He hasn't committed down lower just yet. It's going to be an upper split of sorts. They're going to try and get towards that upper bomb site. Not Rez waiting for them. It's actually looking quite clear on that side. So this should be a plant at least.
This is why I was surprised that Rez didn't rotate as opposed to Forrest, because now Forrest is locked out. Rez has to rotate all the way around through either lobby or back to Heaven and get right through the nade, which reveals him, so he's locked out immediately by a Molotov. Good play from Forrest. Likes to go to Secret, instead finds one. That'll increase chances. Round 14, they've got money anyway. And he's going to follow it up to take MSL. Get right, finally, with the flames gone. Works his way back in, and it might still work out for NiP. Well, the flashing himself, but it won't matter too much because Get Right's aware. And we'll go 11-3 for NiP.
That was a North round. That was a lock-in by the looks of things. They planted upper with a man advantage as well. You'd think that's going to be it, but NiP just too strong right now. They really are doing a great job. And will be 17 kills for Rez, Forrest on 14, Get Right 9, Dennis 7, and 6 for Draken. Hasn't really had to do too much, really. And having a look at the other side, you can see where Mertz is really struggling, Matt. The fact that T-side AWP, not really a thing for him. Hasn't he had it a couple of times, hasn't found any openers. I don't really know too much about him rifling. I've only really casted him a few times when he's been main AWPing on the maps I train. I haven't seen much of the rifle. He's currently on 2 kills, 11 deaths, so you can see where he might have his weaknesses as a player. As they go for an upper execution here, it's a very simple one. Flash out, through the smoke they go, and Get Right sprays down 3. No problem whatsoever. Going to get the 4th as well, and that's going to be the round done. Perfect performance in NiP here, in my opinion. It couldn't be stronger for them on the CT side. They give him a couple of rounds, but overall 12-3, and Rez especially gets the MVP at that half. Fantastic performance of him, and a perfect way to shut things down as well. Such a convincing round to finish things off.
Extremely convincing round. Solid cleanup. Doesn't even look like it's changed his demeanor at all, Chris, as he sits on the end.
Yeah.
Chin in hand.
So they tried everything. The defaults, the outside smokes, and execution towards the end. There wasn't even much of one really. That was like them flashing out, trying to surprise. It did work for one round, if you remember, very early on in the half. But then they decided to do that for a smoke at the beginning, and we all know what that means. Going for a smoke, sure, doesn't do any damage like an incendiary, but it means even when you come out from the CT point of view, you're going to be grey screen. You can't see anything until you're fully out of the smoke. So they can see you coming before you actually have vision. So Get Right there. Sure, 4-man spray down's really cool, but ultimately you North feed him. And with the AK, he's got a ton of damage, doesn't have to really aim too much. And it will be almost a lock-in at this point if NiP win the pistol. 3 sets of armor, 2 smokes, and AZ going towards outside. He might be challenged here as he holds towards the main entrance. Dennis will have the door blown out for him, and we'll see whether this PT-50 can find him any sort of success. Remember, he's got the armor as well, so it's been dropped for him. Got a lovely little skin there. Then we'll see whether he can get the first kill. No. MSL from the hut, we're seeing more and more. There's a CZ purchase for the hut to stop upper rushes and find kills like that. So well played to him.
Silent to Secret. AZ will wait at the stairwell with a silenced USP. Whispers aside, but it's to the site they go, and AZ will go behind the new box. the blue box in the corner. It goes back out to find Forrest working from the control room door, and back to Decon. He's got another get right, has helped them because he takes down Draken. He's got to make amends, can't do it. Kirby finds him instead. North get the pist around CT side, and absolutely there is a case for the game. It's 12-4, but it's the CT side of nuke.
That was really well done by AZ, especially much needed pistol round from North. NiP will try and fight back just like they did in the first half. They're going to have the CZ, the Deagles, and Rez and Forrest yet to buy anything yet. I'm sure Rez will join in with the fun. It will be a full investment here from the T side. In terms of the purchases for North, we're going to see M4s, a FAMAS, 1 Scout, and a UMP. And actually, he's Draken coming out on top there. Not for long, MSL will respond, but nice opening pick. MSL will drop his UMP and get out the M4. But with this FAMAS, needs to be very careful. Normally a very safe pair of hands on him. Nuke, when he first joined this team, I thought he did an excellent job in this particular map. We'll see whether he can continue that form as he gets the first. Maybe even the second here. Rez trying to hide. That nade should finish him off, though. Not quite, as he goes down to 9 HP.
So Volda will hold the ramp and confidently gets a little bit more assertive toward that position at radio because the FAMAS in handy's already deterred their approach enough. Instead, they rotate back around to outer. Deagle can't land as Forrest tries his utmost. He's down to 32 HP and more problems for them that even if they want to try and avoid the peak toward heaven, they've got to run in toward Kirby, and Mertz already found Forrest before that anyway, so even that didn't work to try and hug the wall and get into A main. Mertz to follow on Dennis. Not a bad round from a scout.
Not a bad round at all. We're seeing the scout be more and more powerful as the months roll by, especially in 2018. It's coming out a lot more these days. As we'll get into the next one here. It's going to be full eco for NiP. We'll see whether this works out for them. I doubt it. Best case scenario, get the bomb planted towards lower. So 1 PT50 and 4 Glocks. That's about as exciting as it gets, I'm afraid. Draken misses the jump towards outside. He'll go down to 58 HP before the round even kicks off. Doesn't really matter too much. He was going to die anyway. AZ with the 3-man spray down, and it will be Dennis left in a 5 versus 1. Just formality at this point as to when he dies. There it is. That's to finish the thing off. And it will be a 3-0 start from North. 12-6 on the CT side, like I said. 3 rounds on the T side is enough. Might sound a weird thing to say, but just how CD-sided it is, win the pistol, you can start grinding out rounds. There's no reason why North can't do the exact same thing that NiP did in the first half. Just need to get that money established first, which they've done. Now they have the AWP out. Mertz had a very quiet game in the first half. I think he averaged, let's have a look. We're using our new method, aren't we? So Mertz got 4 kills in the first half. So see if he can up it up.
Did that include the -1 for the crater?
No, it did not.
So he had 4, he had 5.
I assume he had 5.
And then, right, so it accumulated to 4 on the scoreboard. It should show in the graph if it went down 1. I don't know if the graph does that. It doesn't. It just says kills. Yeah. So, okay. So he does have 4 kills. That's it. That's outright. Meanwhile, MSL, top of the hut. Rez will be outside. They haven't gotten all the way to secret. Forrest is... Actually, excuse me, he is. I thought he was working from the big garage. He's going to be all the way under. So he's in control room. This will be enticing if you're NiP to go lower. Can't right, I don't think, spotted AZ getting inside of the ladder. We got to that a little bit late. Didn't see his POV, but if he doesn't know that AZ is down in those vents, Forrest could have bigger problems. They aren't going to try and work to him because they can't. They know they're locked out from lobby, so instead Forrest will take the initiative to open it for them. Volda at Turnpike, though, could spot Forrest sooner than in which he is spotted in return, and that's exactly what happens. It does force Volda off the angle, which will allow NiP into the ramp. Was the goal. They would have loved to have sneakily found a killer, therefore from Forrest, but end goal is the same, just with more opposition to try to shut the bomb plant down. That's exactly what MSL will do. Subsequent rotation based on information from Volda works out well, and it's going to continue to do so as MSL falls next 11 seconds and get right into 1 versus 4, round to North.
Absolutely should be here, about 5 seconds remaining. I thought Chris might be able to get a couple more kills, which he does. Mertz will deal with him in the end, but another clean one there, really. You think about the money's already established in North, that's not a huge deal. They've got 9k on 2 players and 7k for AZ, so it's not a huge detriment to their campaign on the CT side here. They've got the 4-0 start now, and it should be the Eco. They're on 4th stage loss bonus and go for a partial by NiP. They're going to get $3,400 into the next round if they lose this one, that is. We'll see if that's the case with the Deagles, the CZs coming out. And for now, they do get CZs a few smokes, 3 of which will be deployed quite early on. They'll go towards outside and see if they can find the first couple of kills here. And here we go. Mertz to open things up.
Good opening. Pistols from NiP. The smoke will at least get to secret. Did I see a nade being primed? Either way, not thrown. AZ's ready. Volda's with him, and he'll push out while AZ hides behind the doorway. Volda doesn't need much help. Does finally, and then AZ responds accordingly. Good shot from Rez. Don't know that it's going to give him enough for the bomb plant. Yeah, wouldn't have. Even if he held that, it would have been on him just before that went down. So
yeah,
did what he could, but not much could be done. It's 12-8, and finally we get a timeout called from NiP this time. Yet to win a T-sided round, and that's exactly what you were saying in the first half.
Exactly. This is the nightmare scenario. You'll be so high from the first half thinking this is an easy game, we're running away with it, but then it's quite a sobering moment when you lose the pistol and you realize, okay, Nuke is a real bastard to try and get rounds on when you're on the T side, especially your money's being crushed, you're not getting the bombs down. And
it speaks to the fact that it is North's map, so it's misleading, like you're saying, and the fact that North didn't get as many as we would have thought,
yeah,
but they still got some, and it shows that NiP doesn't play the map as much because they're not getting as much done. Money's certainly a factor, mind you. This is the second round they'll have full weaponry.
Yeah, we'll see how deep the tactical book for NiP goes on the T side. Yeah, great CT performance, especially from Rez. But you're going to need some of the other names to join him here in the second half. Not really many frags gathered so far. As we get into round number 21, now starting to get a little bit uncomfortable. As we get closer to double digits for them. Will be the default for now. Few smokes outside. We'll see how many exactly. There is a full wall of smokes outside, but it's a fake. They're not going to use them at all. So this will be some sort of upper execution, I'd imagine, after hopefully forcing a rotation down towards lower. There's Forest shooting out the initial Skylab. That Molotov, I'm not 100% familiar. I think that goes towards the huts from the looks of things. So the outside smoke's designed to force the rotation, then go for this upper execution. Forest has already got his lineup for the Molotov. That'll be deployed now. As we're looking at it, this is perfect. Let's see whether that gets deployed where I thought it would. The idea to flush AZ out off that hut, as you can see right now. And hopefully the rafters just above it as well. There's the Molotov going in, and the flashbangs as well. Is this going to work out at all for NiP? They're not going in with it. So they drop the utility. They're going to head towards the ramp. So it's a bit of an upper fake. They drop utility in that area, maybe forced a player from the ramp room. They've actually capitalized very nicely at this point. Down they go, and like we said, if you get towards lower cleanly, very difficult time for the CTs to retake it as Rez finds the first headshot, make it a double. Continues that phenomenal form from the first half. This is a great tactic from NiP. All about rotations is Nuke, and that was perfect. They made a very convincing case to say it was going to be an upper push, go towards ramp, didn't lose anyone. Then Rez to hold off the rotations towards lower perfectly. That's going to be a 13th round for NiP. Just what they needed, and just after the timeout as well, just to show you how important that was for Pitta to get involved and give them an idea as to what they could do.
Good kill from Volda to just keep the gun up and do further damage to NiP. It's more important, if you want to look at it, not so much that Volda gets a kill and keeps his gun, but that he takes away a gun from NiP at this point, because this will be their first round in 5, their first round of the second half, and therefore a potential reset. So every gun lost now won't hurt them in the next round. They'll still be able to buy with a win, but the following will certainly be more detrimental should it go against them. 3 to go for NiP, and that's how they have to look at it from the T perspective. 3 to go. That's it.
Indeed. That was a great strat. Going to work again. That's the good thing about Nuke is your strategies basically are variations of the outside smokes. You'll see those ones that NiP destroyed. Like I mentioned at the start, they didn't even use them. It was all a ruse just to kind of force a rotation and get North guessing. That was almost like a double / triple fake, considering they did the outside smokes, Then they did the upper execution, the Molotovs and the flashbangs. Ultimately went towards the ramp at that point, then towards lower. It was very confusing for the CTs. They didn't really know what was going on and doubled it down with Rez hitting all those shots. Pretty fantastic scene. So now they can start doing variations of it in the sense that they can start using the outside smokes and maybe North won't take them as seriously. We'll see as we have another timeout here. This one was called by Dennis, actually. So it's another timeout for the NiP squad. Round number 22 coming in. NiP, after losing 5 rounds in a row, have posted their first on the T side here. If you're just joining us, it's the first map of 2-1 game. So NiP do win the series, and indeed North, they go to the playoffs. So that's the objective of the Swiss series, get to 3 victories in terms of series.
Easy top of the hut. Smoke down outside, up close. And Get Right's watching to see if there'll be a push at radio while everyone, after using their utility outside, rejoins him in the lobby and potentially wants to try and take the upper site. Interesting to see that preset wall spam after the Molotov. It reminds you of 1.6 from that perspective. None other than Get Right, suitingly to so. Smokes go both ways. Kiabri's going to try and work back inside of the upper side. He has to do so. Wants to swing and help out AZ. He does exactly that in getting Get Right.
I think he wanted to get down the vents there. He shot in the smoke while blind as well. Didn't quite make it down. So that's going to be the first and second kill for North here. 5 versus 3. Valda, great job there. That's what I'm talking about, the AK-47, man. You can actually challenge a bit more with the AK on the CT side. Always give it to your ramp player. You get the opportunity. This is another easy North round with a reset coming in with no plan. So North's still in a fine position here. This is going to be almost no cash for NiP in the next round. Highest they've got, $2,900 on Dennis. Lowest goes down to Forrest on $650. So he might be better off to saving the AK because they'll probably be double or just forcing into the next round because they'll be eco regardless. We'll see what he can do here. 12 seconds. Yeah, might as well save and hide. Not even worth getting the $1,400 at this point. His equipment's worth more than what he would get. So does make sense. There's a scoreboard for you. 4 players survive for North. Harsh reset coming in.
Absolutely.
And this gets very, very difficult now for the
And
ninjas.
that's where Volda's kill comes into play for the previous round, because now it was only 3 players surviving. So again, the mentality from NiP has to be 1 round at a time. 3 to go. Pressure mounts each and every loss, though, because now we're within 4 with money not really there to work with.
This is when you start doubting yourselves. Now they're going to force buy as well. This is a difficult call to make.
Yeah, I understand this force buy, right? Because you kept 3 up. You had 1 player survive, 3 up in the previous round, sorry. 1 player survive in the last. And you know North have just lost 1 and then, or sorry, 1 loss and then 1.
Sure.
You know you have a chance to break them down as well, and
Indeed.
that's going to make your job that much easier with a spread still. But it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, there's arguments to be made for forcing into this one and for just taking the eco.
I think I would go, honestly, my perspective, I would go with the force.
Yeah, I think I probably would too. Just so you know that you can win the game if you can win this round. If you lose the round, you still have a buffer. Sure, we get a bit more uncomfortable. You still have a chance to wait and take some ecos.
And in other maps, maybe I would say, okay, you can see, you know, the buffer's gone, whatever, but it's not as CT-sided, so you have to try and give yourself as much of an advantage as you can, and that's ultimately what they're trying to do.
Well, the unpause is called. It will end up with 3 rifles for NiP, one of which is the Galil, 1 pistol and a UMP. Not an amazing amount of utility, but we'll see if they can make it work. And whether they go for something a little bit faster here. The smoke's deployed outside. They've actually thrown 3 decoys outside map. So I'm just going to check that out. They've actually got three decoys outside instead of smokes.
I couldn't hear them. Did they throw with gun? Yeah, they did, because I heard Galil shots, didn't I? I was thinking it'd be cool if they dropped their weapons through it as if they didn't force.
So this is, I'm guessing they're trying to make it look like a fake, because they've thrown the smokes now, they're going up with them. So they threw 3 decoys outside. Dennis does get the opening kill. So that's exactly what they needed, but Mertz threw the smoke. The smokes did not look perfect. Yeah, you can see on his screen right now, there's a massive gap there, like a disgusting one. So that's not ideal. You can see that they may be struggling a little bit here, making some compromises who had the smokes, but Reds does get given a chance to get a free kill in response. Can't recover the rifle. Mertz will be watching that like a hawk, but this is where the kill really is important. Down towards lower, that's Get Right, but they keep getting traded out.
They want that AK. Rez knows it's there, but he also knows it's wide open and therefore could be being watched from heaven. So they'll give it up. There's an AK-12 20 steps behind Rez. Doesn't want to go get it. They're playing this smart with an objective in mind. Draken's going to work in. Hut is the position that Mertz is in with the AWP. He's waiting for the cross. Oh, I thought if that hand went out, it would be easy. It doesn't.
Ouch.
And Draken nails him on the way by. This could be the break point they're looking for, and Draken gets it and makes it so. 14-9 for NiP.
Wasn't the prettiest, wasn't the most tactical, but there it is. It will be the two players clutching it out towards the end. Well played to Draken. Had to take a bit of a risk there. And it all comes down to that one shot from Mertz. By his standards, that's quite an easy shot. He knew they were coming in. He's supposed to be a very flicky, fast AWPer. He should be nailing that one. Missed it, gets punished for it, and at that point, that could be the end of the map for North. We'll see. The buy's not actually too bad. It is a reset, sure, but it all comes down to this moment, really. They've got 3 players without helmets. They've got 1 SMG, 1 AWP, and looks like a faster approach from NiP, trying to punish at this point the fact they might have a lack of utility. It's working out very nicely so far. Perfect call from the Ninjas. Bomb to be planted and a difficult retake coming in now. Valda doing whatever he can with the UMP through the smoke, but I don't think it's going to be enough at this point. They might want to consider saving already. Money will be ruined if they go for this.
Rez watching into that smoke at heaven. You're right, money will be ruined, so I called breakpoint last time. There's still a chance to break it down. They get another round out of it. It's all justifiable either way. Had a chance, had a sniff of it with the first kill going their way in the retake, and the save certainly doesn't look like, I mean, it looks likely now, but not in an efficient capacity in which they could have kept 4.
Yep.
They'll do so because they have no other choice at this point, so it wasn't their forethought. It's an after, and with only AZ and Mertz, this puts NiP on map point. This, in my books, is stealing a map.
Yeah, that's a really nice call from NiP. I love that. They haven't done that once yet, and they know the money's going to be poor. It wasn't too bad in terms of the firepower, but it was the utility they were really lacking at that point. Probably didn't have the incendiaries or couldn't really justify a smoke in the hut at the start. They rush out Squeaky Door with UMPs as well. There's going to be close-range fights, and maybe players that were helmets as well. Dennis finds it first. On the hut, no helmet to be found. He gets the opening kill, and that, for me, wins the round. If you find that opening kill with nothing at all in response, you've got the bomb planted, you deployed your smokes to the key choke points, CT shouldn't be going for that retake. But the problem is they were looking down the barrel of map point, right? They probably had to thought, we need to see if there's anything possible here. They did. They managed to save 2 weapons in total, and they'll take their own pause now. But they're at map point, 15-9 down. There is a chance, though, NiP can mess this one up. And with the AWP of Mertz, the M4 of AZ, and the CZs around them, especially on a map like Nuke, CZs are very, very potent. So this isn't over just yet necessarily. NiP have a huge upper hand in round number 25, and it's likely it ends here. But stranger things have happened. We'll see whether Mertz wants to change things up. Maybe go towards ramp with that AWP. Just try and get the first pick. Just try and be in a position they won't expect you, perhaps. See where he goes. He doesn't go outside straight away. He's actually going to go towards heaven. So he's maybe to shut down the upper push. He'll be looking towards the huts right now. We should really be looking at him.
It's a versatile position as well because he can swing to watch outer.
So he's in the hut right now looking towards lobby with the AWP. I can confirm that. It's a lot more exciting what's going on here, but we'll see whether he can open things up. There we go.
Kirby is in secret entrance, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to rotate back around ever so slightly. I think the minimap might be misled. It looks like he's in. Yeah, he is secret entrance. Okay, there we go. I thought it might have been Big Garage for a second, but this is actually a reasonable position for him to be in. He doesn't need to peek this. He doesn't need to peek that. He's got the positioning. They already know they're outside. You had your AWP player upper. Now, I agree that Mertz has rotated off of it, but he could have waited. He could have played that off of information, especially because he was one of the 3 weapons.
Yeah, it's his recovery play from MSL now, trying to rotate through and seeing if they'll just assume that a solo player was there. But you can see NiP very patient indeed, as Mertz does make a huge mistake in the lobby with the AWP.
With an AWP.
What's he really hoping to do with that?
It's just optimistic. He's hoping that... So now they're trying to play off the information Kirby got after he already went down, assuming that they're still outside. If Kirby waited and had got the kill, maybe there's a chance he could push through lobby, but pushing through lobby in itself is just a... that's
GG.
It's a risky play for no reason. Forrest and Dennis will confirm it. 16-9, it is indeed GG. Single digits only for North in the end.
They were looking so promising those first few rounds. Like, when they were down, right, they got those 2 or 3 rounds at the beginning of the half. Thought, okay, North are going to run away with this. Their T-side looks impeccable. They've got some great tactics here. But after a few rounds transpired and Raze started absolutely battering them in every facet of the map, I thought, okay, well, maybe North aren't as tactically diverse as I thought. They seem to have run dry on ideas. Raze was just in every position possible. Anywhere they were going, he was making the perfect call, down towards lower, rotating up to venting towards the upper bomb site, and North just couldn't handle him. He was single-handedly destroying them every single round on the CT side especially. And sure, they struggled on the T side. They lost 5 rounds in a row or something like that, but they took the pause, made that great call, if you remember, with the upper fake, the outside fake, down towards ramp, and then at that point, it just felt like they had it the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Questionable decisions on that last round as well. From North, before we send it back to the desk, there is a bit of a public service announcement that I have to make.
Okay.
If anyone knows the whereabouts of Anders B. Loom, please let him know that he left his blazer in the casting room. It's back over to the desk. Or it should be.